Hey there, this is Elena with Black Sheep 303 Creative, and I have kind of a different video today. I'm going to be talking to you about the die set that I think is the most versatile die set I have ever owned. I've been kind of obsessed lately with the Kaleidoscope Tile, or the Kaleidoscope dies from Spellbinders. If you're not familiar with them, this is the one we're going to look at a lot today, which is the Kaleidoscope Tile. They are like smaller die sets that layer together to create these really pretty dimensional decorative elements for cards. And as you can see here, we've got 3 different styles of cards from the one set. So I'm going to show you all the ones I've got. I don't have every single one that's available, but I have a lot of them because I just love them. I have a bit of full set syndrome with this. All right, so the top one is the one we're going to look at more closely today, which I think is the most versatile one, which is the Kaleidoscope Tile set. But there is also Kaleidoscope Triangles, Kaleidoscope Petals. This is the May 2020 large die of the month, which is the Kaleidoscope Card Creator. That's really pretty. And then this is my most recent purchase, which is the Kaleidoscope Trio, which I think was the small die of the month from June 2019. But let's look more specifically at this one initially. So they're designed to layer, as I mentioned. So this is the bottom layer, that's the middle layer, and here's the top layer. So when you layer them together, different parts of each layer show through, as you can see here. And it just makes a really, really pretty little decoration for your card. And I think that one's the most gender neutral. Like, this is the Card Creator, and really pretty, but lots of flowers on that one. Then this is the Petal set, which also, I'll show you how that looks layered here. Also very, very pretty and very detailed, but the shape alone to me makes it seem somewhat feminine. You know, it looks like a flower petal, as the name describes. This is the Triangles set, which you can see has a flower motif on all 3 layers, which is absolutely stunning when put together. But, you know, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like flowers tend to be mostly female. It's a little difficult to make a card for a guy that has flowers on it. Now, these hexagons and the circles in the Kaleidoscope Trio set are a little more gender neutral, but I still believe that the square in the Tile set is the most flexible. So this combination, you know, is fairly bright colors, so, you know, that creates one look. And then now I'm going to show you with some neutrals. So that's silver metallic, a gold mirror cardstock, and ivory. And all 3 of these are neutrals, meaning that they go with everything. Neutral colors. So you can see that creates a very, very pretty, also dimensional look, but totally different from the very bright one that we looked at first. And that's the metallic combo is the one I used to create this card, which is a more feminine looking card. Even though that's a very neutral combination in the layers of the square, but I use little flower accents and then that lavender cardstock with the scallopy edge. That makes that look more feminine. But I think that combo you could use in a variety of ways to create different looks. And then here's a much more bright combination of papers to create a very happy and bright birthday card. So 2 completely different looks. And then this is the color combo we're going to use for the card today, which is Moonlit Fog, Slate, and Silver Metallic. So pretty masculine, darker, more neutral tones. But yeah, so also neutral, but you can see totally different from that first combo of the gold and the silver and the ivory. And then another option you've got with this die set is you can combine just 2 of the dies. So this would be the top die and the bottom die, so the least detailed and the most detailed. Or you can do the 2 middle ones, so like sort of the middle detail and then the top detail, and you get 2 additional looks with one die set. So you may be catching on now as to why I love these dies so much, and particularly this one. So let's look at the two different cards that I made with sort of the bright paper combo or the more neutral paper combo. Now this is our very simple card project today. It's an A2 size top folding cardstock in Gina K's in the navy cardstock. And then I wanted to show you how things to think about when you're picking colors to combine with these. So this is the color combo we're going to use, which is Moonlit Fog on the bottom, Slate in the middle, Silver Metallic on the top. But you have some choices within this same color combination. So you could switch it up and do Silver Metallic on the bottom, Moonlit Fog in the middle, Slate on the top for a completely different look. Now, where you see there, the Moonlit Fog contrasts quite a bit with the navy card base. So you see that color quite a bit when it's layered together with the slate, and then the silver really contrasts with the navy background. So you really notice sort of the top and the bottom layers. Here, we're doing kind of a different choice. So we got silver on the bottom, Moonlit Fog in the middle, and then with the slate on top, there's a lot less contrast between the top layer and the navy card base. So you really notice the bottom two layers of this combination, and it's a totally different look when you look at the two layering ways we've layered it, but just changed up the order. So that's something to consider if you buy these and you're trying them out. Now for this is super simple. I got 2 strips of blue denim cardstock cut to 3/8 by about, I don't know, 5. And then this is 1/2 inch by like 4 3/4. Because these are going to stick over the sides of the card so I can trim them off. Now I am going to use my Misty stamping tool in order to stamp the greeting, and hopefully most everyone is familiar with these stamp positioners, I guess we're calling them. I'm going to be using You Are My Hero from the Best Dad stamp set from Alta New. I wanted to specifically make this a masculine card that was somewhat non-holiday specific. So maybe and this could even be like, do you have a frontline worker who during this COVID-19 pandemic that you want to send a card to that might be a guy. So I'm using Moonlit Fog ink from Gina K Designs to coordinate with the Moonlit Fog paper I'm using. And I'm just going to ink. I positioned it on the paper, lifted it with the lid. Now I'm putting the ink on, and I'm inking it twice because the first time it did not stamp perfectly. And so that is why I love using a stamp positioner. Now to assemble this, I'm just putting some Gina K tape runner on the blue denim strips, and I'm positioning this first one about 3/8 of an inch down from the top. And then I'm going to try to position the bottom one about 3/8 of an inch up from the bottom, and then put the greeting right on top of that. So super, super simple. I think stamping the greeting was probably the hardest part of this entire card. And, admittedly, this is a little bit of a different design, so it might not be your cup of tea, but I'm just trying to give you a different option with this die set. So we've already looked at this combo of papers that we're using and how you would normally group them. But I'm going to use this differently. I'm going to split them apart to create a sort of, modern art looking decoration on the front of the card, if you will. Not sure how to describe that. But by splitting them apart, you're getting a completely different look than they are layered. Now, I highly recommend using liquid glue, and these are the many options I've got. I've got Gina K Connect, I've got Lawn Fawn glue tube, I've got Art Glitter glue, and then I've got the Zig 2A glue pen. But I think any liquid glue that you use needs to have a pretty tiny point on it, because you need to be able to put very small dots of glue, especially as the layers progress and get more and more detailed, because you have less and less cardstock to put glue on. And with the Zig 2A glue pen, I have to move kind of quickly, because if it dries, it turns to repositionable, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm just trying to determine where I'm positioning each of these as I go. And there you can see I'm putting tiny dots of glue on the largest pieces of cardstock that are available with each of these die cut layers. Now I'm hoping you can see how detailed these are, extremely detailed. They are, you know, like smaller versions of some of the background layered dies that have been available for longer. And I just think this is the coolest thing because they're less expensive and you can use them in a much wider variety of ways. Not that I don't love those background dies too, because they are amazing. But I just think sometimes the smaller versions give you more flexibility, at least with how you use them. You could also use adhesive sheets on the back of these before you die cut them and turn them into stickers, but you'd have to be really good at sticking them together the first time, because those are difficult to reposition. So that's why I use liquid glue. And then, you know, you can see this is a very simple and different kind of card. And so just for the last touch, I'm using my Spectrum Noir gold plate metallic marker and just drawing some fake stitching detail along the blue denim stripes at the top and the bottom for just a little bit of an added touch there. And that's the completed project for today. So you can see, you know, pretty simple, pretty easy, and it's a different look, but I think for a guy that might be okay. And here's a look at the very bright birthday card using the exact same die set. And then here's a final look at the more feminine version of the more neutral metallics layering of the Kaleidoscope tiles together. So hopefully I've made you think about these dies and how versatile they are and the different ways that you can use them. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please give me a thumbs up and please leave me a comment. I'm trying to rebuild my channel after my long YouTube burnout break, so I will take all the love I can get. You can also subscribe to my channel, of course, and check out my blog post as well as the video description for all of the die sets and materials that I used in today's video. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day.